listen, if y'all really believe this, I will do this in a very diplomatic, bipartisan way. We are sitting in the proper committee that can do the investigation. If you feel as if there is nothing to see, then prove us wrong. Prove us wrong, because the last time that I checked, we were shut down as we were getting documents from his attorneys. So if you say that there's nothing there, then let's go ahead and have a hearing and an investigation and prove us. Show it to the American people that we don't have to be concerned that this incoming president has been paid off by the likes of people that don't like the American citizens that live in this country. Because last time I checked, he was palling around with Putin and he's loving on Xi Jinping. I mean, like, I don't know what you have to hide then. So in oversight, let's go ahead, Chairman, can we go ahead and get a hearing set up and an investigation just to prove us wrong?
Hello, good people. A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us from. This is Awakened Africa. Of course, this is your #1 thought-provoking channel. On today's episode, I'd like us to discuss about something that during the campaigns during the presidential campaigns in the United States of America, we saw President Donald Trump. He was very close to businessman Elon Musk, and it has come to many people's attention that or people are asking themselves, is President Trump going to serve the interests of the American people, or is he going to serve the interests of his of his friends or his family or his own interests? And I bumped into video by Jasmine Crockett, who is a representative. He's a Democrat. She's a representative, a Democrat who represents Dallas and some parts of Texas County. So she was trying to say that if President Donald Trump or the House of the Democrats was trying to ask if President Donald Trump is not serving the interest of his own or the interests of his people, then prove us wrong, because there is already an existing record of him doing that. And Jasmine Crockett urges the House of Republicans to investigate Elon Musk's ties with President Donald Trump, citing potential conflict of interest and foreign financial influence. And she emphasizes the need for transparency and accountability regarding Trump's business dealings and implications of national security, calling for a hearing address to these concerns. I don't want to talk more about this, but let us watch the video first, and then I'll come back with my own take. But before that, if you're new to this channel, do this: kindly subscribe, hit that like button, put on that notification bell on, and of course, leave a comment. Let us watch the video.
Has a copy on their desk. The clerk will designate the amendment.
An amendment to the rules of the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform for the 119th Congress is offered by Mr. Garcia of California.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think we are obviously all aware as a committee that the President of the United States should serve the American people, never their own financial interests. Yet we're facing some of the most serious conflicts of interest going into this administration in the history of our country. Now, Donald Trump and Elon Musk, who are at least appearing to essentially be co-presidents in this next few years, are plotting to remake our government and our very social safety net. And they could get, of course, we know, richer in the process. Now, this amendment will make sure that we don't advance any legislation from this committee that enriches Donald Trump or his businesses. And unfortunately, as we know, because of the work of this committee and House Democrats, this legislation could not be more important, because we know and we saw Donald Trump trying to enrich himself and his family in his first term. Now, we know the committee Democrats showed that Donald Trump received payments from over 20 countries during his first term. 20 countries. Donald Trump's network of businesses made it possible for anyone in the world to funnel money to him through his businesses. Now, these countries, of course, included China, Saudi Arabia, and many others. Now, we actually have, because of this committee, receipts and documents that prove that he received at least $7.8 million directly from foreign governments. And by the way, that number is much larger, but of course we don't have all the documents and receipts because this committee's majority blocked us from getting all of them. We also know that 8 ambassadors stayed at President Trump's D.C. hotel at the time while serving in the office of the Trump administration in clear violation of the Constitution. The committee also found that Elliot Brody, a Republican fundraiser and lobbyist, spent $15,000 at Trump's D.C. hotel while actually lobbying the Trump administration. Later, he received a pardon, which we know that Donald Trump and his administration like to give out to people that donated to him. And we know that that, of course, is a clear violation of the Foreign Agents Registration Act. Now, we should all be concerned that this lobbying effort signifies a pay-to-pay scheme that capitalizes on President Trump's influence. And these conflicts of interest are a direct threat and a national security threat. Of course, this is on top of the fact this committee continues to refuses to investigate Jared Kushner, who received $2 billion with a B directly from Saudi Arabia just months after leaving the White House, and has used that power to facilitate record arms deals and other pro-Saudi policies. As he enters his second term, this amendment is incredibly important so that we can ensure that Donald Trump isn't directly benefiting through his businesses by foreign governments and other people that are interested. Once again, this amendment would ensure that we work through this committee to ensure the president does not directly benefit. I urge all of my colleagues to support this common sense amendment, and I yield back.
Would my friend yield?
Yes, sir.
Just for some questions. Mr. Garcia, is it not true that when President Trump was elected in 2016, the then president of the Philippines, President Duterte, actually named a business partner of President Trump to be a special envoy to the United States?
Absolutely, sir. And as you know, and much beyond that, Donald Trump has continued through his family and through his businesses, gain the influence in foreign governments and then trade them for policy proposals.
Is it not also true, Mr. Garcia, that a number of Gulf countries, Saudi Arabia among them, actually pointedly would stay at or rent rooms and facilities at the then Trump Hotel downtown in order, presumably, to curry favor?
Saudi Arabia and many other countries, yes, sir.
And did President Trump then, in fact, financially benefit from those transactions?
Directly against the Constitution, absolutely, sir.
And is there a policy at GSA, the Government Service Administration, that actually would prohibit an elected official from benefiting from a lease owned by or provided by GSA?
That is correct.
And was that honored in the first Trump administration?
Absolutely not, which is why this amendment is needed.
I thank my friend.
Thank you.
Content creators.
Chair, recognize Mr. McGuire.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, I heard some accusations on the other side about President Trump being corrupt, and I would say that they tried to put him in jail. They tried to bankrupt him with lawfare. We all know the Russiagate and the perfect phone call. And then, of course, he took a bullet for this country. And of every president in my lifetime, in our lifetime, he left office less money, not more money. And he did more in 4 years than any president in my lifetime. Every president in my lifetime talked about a peace treaty in the Middle East, and they got zero. And President Trump got two. When we talk about the greatest economy, when record unemployment, especially for minorities and black people and women, when you have low unemployment, record unemployment, you have less people living on the street, and you have less people dying on the street. And we look at the foreign wars like Ukraine, Russia, you look at October 7th, Israel, we all know those things would not have happened if President Trump were in office. He is not a corrupt president. He loves our country. He loves the American people. He loves all people. And I'm excited that we are going to be able to work on oversight, hold government accountable, and help him put America first and not America last. I'll yield the remainder of my time.
Gentlemen, yield back. Any further members seek recognition? Mr. Jack from Georgia.
Mr. Chairman, I'll just add, President Trump was one of the last or most recent presidents and one of the shining examples of a president that did not take a salary. From the day he was sworn in through the day he left office, he donated a salary to a lot of incredible causes. So I would urge the gentleman to withdraw this amendment. I think it's an offense to the American people that gave President Trump and House Republicans a mandate, a clear mandate this past election. And again, if you want to talk about a conflict of interest when the President of the United States does not accept a salary, I think that demonstrates the unique nature that he has and the connection that he has to the American people, wanting to serve them and show that he's not in this for the money. He lost money getting elected. He's sacrificed so much. There's no reason for this non-germane amendment. I yield back.
Chair recognizes Ms. Stansbury.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, notwithstanding these beautiful love letters and campaign ads to Donald Trump, this committee has examined a multitude of thousands of pages of evidence and receipts that show that Donald Trump did actually take foreign money through and launder through his hotels and properties. And I know we got some new members on the committee, but we're happy to provide that documentation to you as well. But with that, I'd like to yield the remainder of my time to Mr. Garcia.
Thank you. I think it's comical to say that Donald Trump didn't take a salary when he and his family benefited in the billions of dollars from peddling influence to foreign governments. This has actually been documented. The receipts were presented through this committee from multiple countries, and the fact that your son-in-law, who was, by the way, advised to not serve as an envoy by the Secretary of State at the time of Donald Trump, could come in and make $2 billion months after leaving the White House by the Saudi government, of which, by the way, he has not returned any sort of investment to the country on, and him being the envoy to the Middle East while he was in the White House, is absolutely corrupt. And the president's salary is nothing compared to what he and his family have received in the billions of dollars through their foreign peddling and corruption in the White House. I'll yield back. I actually yield to Ms. Crockett.
Thank you so much. Listen, if y'all really believe this, I will do this in a very diplomatic, bipartisan way. We are sitting in the proper committee that can do the investigation. If you feel as if there is nothing to see, then prove us wrong. Prove us wrong, because the last time that I checked, we were shut down as we were getting documents from his attorneys. So if you say that there's nothing there, then let's go ahead and have a hearing and an investigation and prove us. Show it to the American people that we don't have to be concerned that this incoming president has been paid off by the likes of people that don't like the American citizens that live in this country. Because last time I checked, he was palling around with Putin and he's loving on Xi Jinping. I don't know what you have to hide then. So in oversight, let's go ahead, Chairman, can we go ahead and get a hearing set up and an investigation just to prove us wrong?
Would the lady yield?
Hold on, Mr. Chairman, because we lying, according to y'all. We lying. So prove us to be liars. I will sit here and I will be the first one to say I apologize. So let's go ahead and do it. Will you do that?
Let me ask, will the lady yield a question?
I will absolutely yield the question.
So you're suggesting that we investigate Donald Trump?
Yes, because y'all saying that we lied about him.
My question is, have there ever been any other investigations of Donald Trump?
We made a whole genre of music.
Have there been any? I mean,
yes, there have been.
I mean, it just seems like he's
he
the
had a
most
couple
investigated
impeachments,
person in the world. And look, I love this newfound
I'm also gonna let you
concern
guys
for
know
ethics
that
by my colleagues on the other side of the aisle. This is rich, to be honest with you, especially when you were talking about violation of the Foreign Agents Registration Act. I think Mr. Garcia or Mr. Frost one mentioned, and things like that. So, you know, I think there's a lot of
black folk have decided that we are standing
interesting things coming that I haven't heard over the past 2 years. So, look,
So, Mr. Chairman, is that a yes or no that y'all gonna prove us wrong?
Ms. Crockett, there have been so many investigations of Donald Trump. You have weaponized. I would argue, and I think the American people would agree, that the judiciary has been weaponized. That the man has had so many investigations.
But Mr. Chair, if you are the one that's conducting it, we know that he trusts you.
You're
a
wanting
good
to
Republican.
investigate him, and he hasn't even been sworn in yet.
Okay, well, we can wait a few more days. That's only on Monday, and we can get started. I just want y'all to prove us wrong because
Well, I think
believe
the
in
American
functioning
people
in
are
fact.
concerned about their tax dollars being flushed down the commode.
I think
being
they're
spent-
also concerned about foreign influence upon
Foreign
the highest.
influence?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't they be? That is something that would fall under our purview in this committee. And Mr. Chairman,
with all due respect, ma'am, you weren't concerned about $27 million of foreign influence that was laundered. Now, Ms. Stansberry, laundered, we can debate on the term of laundering. I don't think you understand what laundering means. But no, because this is Ms. Crockett's time, and it's about to
I will go
expire.
ahead and yield to Ms. Stansberry then.
She's got 10 seconds.
All right. Well, Mr. Chairman, this is a bit absurd, but it's very clear this committee did investigate Donald Trump, did launder his
Time's
money
expired.
through
Any
his
further member
hotels,
seek recognition?
and we will provide the
Mr. Chair.
report which you suppressed. Thank you.
Mr. Gill. Chair recognize Mr. Gill from Texas.
Thank you. I find it rich that the other side of the aisle is suddenly concerned about corruption and ethics. Whenever President Biden just gave his son a 10-year blanket pardon for foreign influence peddling and whatever else he was doing while high on whatever drugs with whatever prostitutes. I also find it rich that all of a sudden the other side has some problem with successful businessmen being involved in politics whenever you guys are the party of George Soros, of Bill and Melinda Gates, of Sheryl Sandberg, of Mackenzie Bezos, of Taylor Swift, of so many other billionaires across the country, as well as every woke, weird pervert in Hollywood. I find this incredibly disingenuous. I think the reality is that the Republican Party under President Trump has a very clear mandate from voters, and you guys don't like it because voters rejected everything you stand for and every policy that you've shoved down the American people's throats over the past 4 years, whether it's open borders, a failing economy, raging inflation, this weird woke stuff that you guys have been shoving down our children's throats, and the voters rejected you and they welcomed our party. So with that, I yield my time, but I find this conversation incredibly rich from the other side.
Gentleman yields back. Any further discussion on this? Seeing none, the question is on the amendment offered by Mr. Garcia. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed by saying no. No. In the opinion of the chair, the noes have it, and the amendment is not. You seek a recorded vote?
Yeah, please, sir.
All right. Mr. Garcia requests a recorded vote. As previously announced, further proceedings on the question will be postponed.
Black folk here in America call the blues.
Is this 5?
Yeah, that's what
Any
we call
further
it.
members seek recognition?
Mr. Chair,
Chair, recognize Mr. Crockett.
I have an amendment.
Right, welcome back to the channel, folks. So as we've all seen from the video, the amendments, of course, aim to prevent legislations that are going to benefit Donald Trump or his businesses, addressing serious conflict of interest during his previous administration, of course, his past actions while he was in office. Let us all remember that, I think we all remember that he came into office in 2016, right? So the discussion, of course, reveals specific examples of Trump financial dealing with foreign countries such as China and the United Arab Emirates, raising ethical questions about his ability to serve the American people without conflict of interest. It is said that he received payments from over 20 nations. And the concerns are raised about the influence of lobbying on government decisions as evidenced by significant spending at Trump's hotel by lobbyists. This underscores the potential for corruption in political fundraising. And I want us to look at this scenario whereby instances of foreign entities favoring Trump by patronizing his businesses indicate a troubling pattern of personal gain from political influence. And this scenario poses ethical and legal dilemmas. However, supporters of Donald Trump argue that President Trump was not corrupt and patronized the American people's interest during his term. They highlight his economic achievements and unique approach to serving without a salary. They say that his last tenure, he served without taking a single penny from his salary. He just donated it to charity, showing that he has the American people interests at heart. However, evidence suggests that Donald Trump and his family significantly benefited financially from foreign dealings during his presidency, raising corruption concerns. And the committee is poised to investigate these allegations further and provide transparency to the public. People like Jared Kushner, financial gains after leaving the White House, particularly a substantial payment from the Saudi government, a situation which highlights potential conflicts of interest during Trump's administration. So the House of Democrats is really on fire about this, and the Republicans are trying to defend their person, who is President Donald Trump, and there are ongoing concerns regarding foreign influence in American politics, especially related to the investigations of Donald Trump's lawmakers are demanding transparency and accountability from those in power to address these issues. And the concerns about taxpayers' money being wasted on investigations and prevalent among citizens. And lawmakers such as Jasmine Crockett emphasized the need for accountability in government spending and its implications for the public. The committee's discussion highlights accusation of corruption involving both President Biden and the former President Trump, who is also the current president. The debate reflects on broader concerns about foreign influence and ethics in politics. So there is a lot concerning this, and I think we can have a conversation about it in the comments. And accusation of money laundering against Donald Trump were raised, indicating ongoing scrutiny of his financial dealings, which highlights the contentious nature of political investigations today. And critics from the Democrats, of course, pointed out perceived hypocrisy regarding the Republican Party's stance on successful businessmen in politics, which suggests a complex relationship between wealth, influence, and political power, because wealth, influence, and political power played a vital role in the previous United States of America elections, as we saw that Donald Trump was very close to this billionaire Elon Musk. And the conversation has also touched on voter rejection of certain policies and emphasizing the divide between political parties. This division reflects ongoing debates about governance and public sentiment. So it is a whole huge conversation that I think the American people need to know about it. They need to engage in it, because having someone who serves his own interest leading or sitting in the top office, then it is something to be concerned about. I don't know what you think about this issue. Let us have a conversation in the comment section. And of course, if you're new to this channel, I'll ask you most definitely to subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, then like, comment, and share this content. Thank you. This is Awaken Africa, and I'm your host, Bemo. Peace out.